Have you ever spent 20 minutes choosing between two almost identical things and ended up completely exhausted? Hello, it's Nina and welcome to my 100 days of letting go. For highly sensitive people, decision making could be not only stressful, but in fact emotionally overwhelming. And it's not only about the object itself, but it includes quite many different pack of fears, let's say, and among them is the fear of making mistake, the fear of disappointing others, also the pressure to take the perfect choice, and also the fear of regret. I have realized this just recently when I had one situation about buying a piano, and for sure it's not only about buying something, but in fact when you are observing and reflecting what stays behind all your doubts, that overthinking process, and at the end that emotional exhaustion where you already don't know which decision to take, and you feel somehow blocked and procrastinating. I would like to share with you this story, and for sure you will be able to relate to it. So almost 1 year ago, I have been reflecting in my personal art therapy about that my childhood passions, and so that actually along the way I have recovered them, especially like painting, which has stayed all those years with me. And one of the things which I remembered that I dropped and I didn't come back was piano playing. In my early childhood, I think from 5 till 7 years, I was going to music academy and was playing piano. It was my childhood dream. But there was a problem. That every time when I had to practice at home, and I got a minor mistake with some notes, so I had to, I forced myself to restart everything from the beginning, so that until I will make it from the very beginning till the end in perfect way. And especially for being a child, it was quite impossible. So I ended up with lots of frustration in myself and crying. It was really a hard period because there were lots of this frustration, lots of tears, and at the end my mom, I think that she just ran out of patience and withdrawn me from the music school. But all those years I remembered about that my dream, and that somehow I have failed for myself, no? Because I gave up it. And exactly 1 year ago, I started to think that I would like to connect with that my part. And I started to look for some second-hand keyboard. And when my husband noticed it, he immediately commented "Oh, even don't look for it because we don't have space where to place it, so just give up." And I assume that you may know for sure how I felt in that moment when when you are touching something which is really vulnerable, and someone just cuts it in such a rough way. So I felt that it was painful for me, but I decided, okay, that's true, that he's right, so then I will stop looking for keyboards. And interesting part has happened when in several weeks I received an email from completely unknown woman who was offering me that she wanted to donate a grand piano. And I was quite, I had fun because I thought like, come on, I have been asking the universe for something small and compact, but not for a grand concert piano. So it made me smile that situation, and bit by bit I forgot about it. 1 year has passed, and several weeks ago in one group someone was selling a piano, and it was like quite cheap. I have seen it. It's just like, you know, that sometimes that is another point of highly sensitive people, that sometimes you pay attention to small details, and for example, out of like hundreds of messages in one group, that one exactly like picks your attention. And I have written, but I started to have different doubts about the measurements. I started to measure, and my main doubt, it was like, what will my husband say? How would be his reaction if I would buy this piano? And I felt so overwhelmed by those doubts and that fear of disappointing another person, that I actually didn't consider my own needs at that moment. And it took me days to decide, and because I was spending just like got into that loop of measuring, considering, thinking, pros, cons, and just overthinking it. So at the end, someone has taken already that piano. But you know that once you open a door, it starts to open. And that my door has got opened, and I started to have more and more thoughts about like how to get a piano. I have shared in one group where there are some highly sensitive people and we support each other, and about this my problem that like I really want a piano, but there are some barriers. And one person has shared that also there are such options as foldable or flexible even pianos, so that I could check it. And then it started the next journey, you know, about that so hard process of decision making for highly sensitive people, because then came this fear of making the perfect choice, because there are different pianos, so that there are some which are like that you can roll them and they are from silicone. Then another ones that have how many keys, that there are 49, 60, 49, 61, 88. How many keys for me would be enough in order to start, and which one is better, or whether it should be folded only once or twice. Lots of details, and you know, this kind of perfectionism approach, when you the more you search information, more details, then you like get that information intake, and it's harder for you to take the decision which one is better. Then you also start to feel that fear of making mistake, not only by buying this piano, but generally the mistake whether you have chosen the best option or no. And still it goes like in circle and circle, all those thoughts. And then one more fear joins that group, is that fear of regret, that it's not only that, okay, once you will decide to buy or not to buy, that first, okay, if you decide not to buy, you will regret. No, that I had the opportunity, but I have lost it. But another one is when you regret that whether I will make enough use of it, so that it will justify my investment. and whether I will have enough patience to practice, whether I won't finish again in that state of frustration when I make minor mistakes, and whether I will be able to cope with that frustration and with those imperfections. So, I assume that this sounds quite familiar for you, and you know, for me, it has been already for many years my main way to calm down my this overthinking mind, and to join with that my part which is feeling and the one which really knows my true nature, my true wishes, is by art practice, art therapy. So I offer you to have just a short art practice. Think about that decision, which also you could be thinking already for days, and you feel like that state of frozen without deciding yes or no, and you feel just like stuck. Think about it, and let's do that art practice. Also, if you feel really emotionally overwhelmed, I highly recommend you to check my free quick emotional reset for highly sensitive people. This is 1 hour where which will help you to like soften your nervous system and to get to more your normal, like calm state, and then ready to take decisions out of that state. So if you're ready, then let's move to the art practice. So I have 5 minutes, and what I usually do is some kind of really quick painting about how will I feel when I will decide. I will tell to that decision yes. And for example, in my case now, I'm thinking about really concrete piano, which I have already looked, and I actually have that kind of decision in my mind. And how will I feel when I will decide to take it? I connect completely with myself. I'm listening to myself, and I do not think. So I do not analyze it. It's just like I will do it really quickly to express what I feel inside. And so this is how I feel with that decision that I will buy that piano, that foldable piano, and I will use it for playing, learning, and developing. Really quickly. Here you don't need to think, you don't need to analyze, it just pick up that color which feels like. And you see that this is even not watercolor paper, it's just my normal journal. And I start to feel. The key idea is to stop thinking, because that is the problem when we already start to overthink, and then in like to take decisions out of that mind when you are completely got lost about that amount of information, and where your expectations, whether you will manage to fulfill them or not. For sure, the expectations are that if you will decide to take it, so that to make enough use out of that piano, and that responsibility is like heavy. It's heavy, because something which is supposed to bring you joy and pleasure, and you consider it like something scary, no? And not so pleasant. So I have released already like the first pressure out of this, taking this decision, and now I can slow down a bit and just to be. Observe also your body, because it is noticeable when you start to feel that pressure. Usually you also like hold your breathing, hold your breath, and this means that you are also like keeping some kind of stress. Just breathe and release it. And probably I think that is yellow. For me it's yellow. And that is like the person. That is curious, because from one side I see it as a person, and from another point I see it like a flower. You know, this kind of flower. I don't remember the name of this flower. Quite often, there is hummingbirds. This part made me smile. So I feel like growing. Yeah. It's like giving a sprout. So here is going to be my inner response to if I'll decide to buy that piano. And for here, let's see how I will feel like if I will decide to refuse that my inner wish, and I will keep on waiting. Probably like I won't refuse completely that idea, but I will keep on waiting and keep on thinking. Could be. This kind of, for me, I think it represents some kind of bench where you are just sitting. And here I think that I feel more like not even sitting, but like lying. And even more not like lying, but just like, you know, when you are feeling really angry, I think that, yeah, for me, this represents a bit like that I'm angry with myself. And even surprisingly, I want to place here some kind of wall, feeling it like this. Like this. And another part, I feel like some kind of tree over here. And it's quite interesting because at the moment, while looking at what is appearing under my brush, I feel more like that the lifetime is passing, and probably later anyway I will decide at some point, because it's something really feeling really deep inside, and that my inner wish, and I understand that probably it will, if I will keep on waiting, it will pass more time, and probably instead of using it during already, I will be waiting, and at the end anyway will decide to buy. So let's see, what do you think about the situation, and how do you usually take your decisions? How do you find whether it's challenging for you to take decisions? And generally share your opinion. It's really valuable for me, and thank you for being here and for painting with me. And remember that you can take my quick emotional reset guide for highly sensitive people in the description below. It's free. What do you think, whether I will buy that piano or no? Share in the comments.